Bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 bum. Salut le monde, c'est notre émission de Salut les vinyles avec Monsieur Ralph, me voilà. Cette semaine, nos invités spéciaux, on a du prog, jazz et rock et coco pop. Alors on y va, voilà, here we go everybody. The latest additions to the BAM arrivals this week. We have a 4-track 12-inch from Joe Walsh from England. It's got Rocky Mountain Way, Turn to Stone, Meadows, Walk Away. Kind of boring back. Anyway, it's $5, not too bad. On the soul side, we've got Barry White and Gene Page presenting Love Unlimited from 1973. And this is only $5. Looks pretty nice on the back there. The Blind Faith album, the first one of the first supergroups with Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, Ginger Baker, and some guy I've never heard of, Rick Rich. What happened to? Anyway, from 1969, it's kind of rough shape, so $3. It doesn't have the lyrics. Here's the back of it. Yeah. Rick Derringer, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. This is his debut solo album. Pretty good shape from 1973. It's got Joe Walsh as special guest, and it's only $5. It's the gatefold. It's got lots and lots of people playing on here. Rebop, who was the African percussion guy he started off with Traffic and then ended up with Can. And this is his debut solo album. It's a really great 1972 kind of British Afro-funk, and definitely worth discovering. Here's the back of it. This is the Rod Stewart album that everybody had. It's got Maggie May and You Wear It Well. It's from 1971, $6. It's the gatefold. This is Sherelle. And this is a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis production. The whole Paisley Park gang is on here. It's from 1985, and it's $5. She's looking pretty swank on the back there. And now we get into jazz. This is Cal Tager from 1974. It's kind of rare, Afro-Cuban. And it's on the Fantasy label, which was his label for many years. And if you're looking for good beats and good breaks, this is a good one to get. J.J. Cale 5 with David Briggs on piano, $10 from 1979. It's on the Shelter label. Kind of what it looks like on the back. This is the album that made the Cowboy Junkies. It's the Trinity Sessions from 1988, and it's got Sweet Jane's, and there's Margot Timmins right there. Kind of got that obscure 80s thing going on. Jim Hall on the Horizon label from 1976. Really good album. A lot of great players on the back here. Got Art Farmer, Ron Carter, Don Thompson, Joan LaBarbera, Jane Hall, Don Sebesky. It's pretty heavy duty, and that's his guitar. The Beatles' Hey Jude, everybody had this album, and if you lost yours, you can get it again. It's $10 in 1970. There they are. And this is the iconic picture there. Jeff Beck Flash, he reunited with Rod Stewart on this one, 1985, and it's got People Get Ready. There he is, Jeff, looking pretty pensive here. Where shall I spend my money? Louis Armstrong, 1957, there was a documentary that was done on Louis Armstrong, narrated by Edward R. Murrow, and this is the soundtrack, so it's a mixture of music and interviews, and it's on Columbia, which is very interesting, because normally he's on Decca, and you got to get your magnifying glass ready, because there's tons and tons of liner notes, and there's, look, Leonard Bernstein Louis Armstrong, and Edward R. Murrow. That's pretty crazy. Oscar Peterson from 1965, and he's just playing solo piano on this one, and some good tracks. You don't see this too often, so, but you know, it's very reasonable, $6. Cowboy Junkies from 1990. This is the original pressing on RCA Canada. It's called The Caution Horses. And it's got their big hit, Sun Comes Up, It's Tuesday Morning. I like that a lot. It's pretty cool. Chick Corea, Return to Forever, $10 from 1972. Errol Garner, this is on the Everest label, and they always reissue interesting things. So these are sides that he did in 1949. So it's more in the boogie and swing as opposed to his mellow stuff that he did in the 50s. But how you doing? But worth getting. Eric Burdon and the Animals. This is his greatest hits, but more from the psychedelic era. It's kind of rough, just like Eric's face. So it's only, you know, $3, whatever. Joe Pass, live at Montreal. This is the Pablo label, which is the label that Norman Grant started after he sold off Verve to MGM, and he took most of his cool roster with him, and Joe Pass, Oscar Peterson all had albums on Pablo. This is quite nice, and lots of liner notes, and it's just Joe Pass on guitar, so it's perfect for the guitar players. This is one of those groovy 90s alt-rock bands. They're called E. coli. It's from 1996, and it's kind of funky white vinyl. Very cool. It's kind of a rip-off of the whole Factory Records thing. And then we end today's episode of Salut Les Vinyles with the Giants, which is Oscar Peterson, Joe Pass, and Ray Brown. Again on the Pablo label. And you're like, where's Ray Brown? Hey, he's right there. Him and Oscar having a laugh. This is from 1977, and definitely worth it if you're Oscar, Joe Pass. They did a bunch of albums together, and they're all good. Just get a bottle of wine and you're all set. That's what I think. And we're going to show you the back wall of BBAM Gallery. This was done by a famous Montreal graffiti artist and rapper called Monkey. It's pretty spectacular, as you can see. So come pay us a visit, 3255 Saint Jacques, Montreal, in the St. Henry neighborhood. And we'll be back very soon with another edition of Salut Les Vinyles. Bye for now.